All right, everyone. It's funny when you have astroturfing campaigns, and if you know anything about linguistics, it's usually pretty easy to be able to tell who's doing this. I suspect that this might be the case among a group that's openly semi-organized amongst themselves. That is the Breadtube crowd, and it's not really just that. There are other people certainly that participate, and there are even movements on the right, in all honesty, that have done this. Attempts to organize usually fall flat, because it removes the organic apparatus by which true memetics occurs. That being said, let me tell you something. I refuse to engage with people whose careers largely revolve around attempting to antagonize people with large audiences into a for-profit debate structure. This happens regularly. I like to not engage with people who are fairly obviously shitposting about themselves on 4chan, because this is definitely happening, or having other people probably do it on their behalf as part of, again, a semi-organized system. What happened? In the 2016 election period, hundreds and hundreds of different commentators, virtually none of which were leftist, except for a few people in the dissident left who were like, well, the left has gone crazy, so I'm going to support Trump out of a sense of existential angst just to piss people off. So I piss people off my whole existence, say some of these people. Hundreds and hundreds of commentators on YouTube, many figures in burgeoning alt-tech, which of course was beginning at the time. You have some of these sites existing in Minds and so forth. Again, people who are more classically liberal, conservative, libertarian like myself in the general sense, the anarcho-capitalists and so forth, the dissident community in general, the anti-neoliberals. People who are against the neocon neoliberal 90s/2000s paradigm got together and started making content, largely independently. These individuals got a huge amount of attention and took off, and their audiences skyrocketed, and in all honesty, money was made. People became profitable in some cases who largely were unknown before. I'm technically part of that as well. Few people knew about me before the 2016 election. I hit 50,000 subscribers around the middle of that election. By the end was pushing 70K. Ended up hitting 100,000, and now I'm riding up above 420,000. Hit 420 on 420, by the way, which is, I think, legendary. But I'm part of that. And that was organic. I didn't sit down there and write down plans and say, well, this is how I'm going to make money, or this is how I'm going to get people to subscribe to and watch my content. I simply was making content. It was the right place at the right time. It wasn't even, I don't even necessarily credit talent other than speaking ability, because really it was situational. If the election hadn't been going on and I hadn't been, analyzing politics with the finesse that I had to do that, I don't know what I'd be at right now. I guess I'd still be making mostly spooky videos or some cat videos at this point, or less and less lucrative. I'm sorry, but you're not bringing home the bacon anymore. We're going to have to eat the cats if a Great Depression occurs. It'd be really sad. Then you'll get new diseases from that. It'd be a real bad time. Anyway, what's happened is that the organic success of the anti-liberal sort of commentary style in 2015, 2016 has spawned an inorganic sort of semi-organized offshoot. That is, people on the left have become paranoid, and they think that the internet increasingly belongs to people that they find to be far-right or fascistic or something, which means, again, classical liberals, libertarians, ANCAPs, and so they're the new fascist. People who don't want to burn books are the new Nazis, according to them, essentially. And a lot of these people are shitfucks, honestly. Unlikable, unsophisticated individuals with odd beliefs. There's an ingrained homophobia and chauvinism, ironically, in elements of the new left. And these commentators have developed a strategy. See, what happened is, after the 2016 election, so first you get an organic period of growth based simply on the fact that there were people that were analyzing society and politics, doing so skillfully enough, and they were independent. They were interesting to listen to, as opposed to CNN and Fox and shit like that. And so it took off. So first you have just the content creation, in a disorganized sense at the time. Then you have the success of blood sports. Again, fairly short-lived, but extremely successful, sort of branching out into this, again, organic sort of drama and debate, which drew people in. And it worked, by and large, popularized another wave of people, most of which have been banned off the visible internet because of the nature of blood sports at this point. What happened is that a group of Reddit leftists decided to get together and replicate this basically this microcosm of content creation, in order to try to replicate the success that had impacted mainly libertarians and conservatives and groups like that that weren't leftists. They're trying to essentially Bernie-fy the same thing. The reason I'm not going to bother engaging as well is that there's literally nothing to be gained by doing so. The whole concept of griftleftism is to antagonize a person in such a way that you can either make money off the situation, that is, get them to debate you on your channel or some third-party channel where you're getting a cut of the super chats, basically, to make money, or to increase your audience. So you don't antagonize someone with 10 subscribers. You're not even going to talk to them. You're going to antagonize someone with thousands or tens of thousands, maybe millions of subscribers. Try to get them drawn into a debate. Inevitably, that person will have people that don't like them and don't know you exist. Those people watch the debate and then they subscribe to you, and it grows your subscriber count. It also gets you more algorithmic attention because YouTube it favors live streams long form now in some ways. It's very interesting how it now does that, and so it's beneficial. But it's not beneficial to the host. It's only beneficial to the parasite. It's a commensalist relationship. And so there's no reason to engage with it. And it's astroturfed. I guarantee there's more central organization even than it would be admitted to on the surface. Absolutely. Because it too perfectly replicates, it too perfectly represents an attempt, an inorganic attempt to replicate the situation and movements of 2016 through 2018 or thereabouts with the growth that occurred in an organic sense then. The other thing is this. It won't work. The stratagem will inevitably fail. Why? Because YouTube, which is the primary venue in which this is happening, is no longer giving up the gravy to independent content creators, or even to loosely organized creators. It's only giving it to people with corporate commissions who are getting contracts and getting paid by YouTube. Insofar as there's no legitimate attempt, it seems, to branch this material out onto alt tech, or to even to TikTok, to tell the truth, it's going to fall flat. How much more can YouTube actually physically grow? They're already having trouble sending out the ad revenue, which is why they've throttled ad revenue for virtually all users, because there were too many videos requiring ads and too few ads to go around, especially now with coronavirus depressing the world economy. A lot of that money is going to dry up, dude. It's impacting everyone anyway. But the grift left crowd is just, basically, the idea is to have verbal diarrhea and be antagonistic and say weird shit, and in some cases self-admit to being ignorant about the subject material from some of these people, which is astonishing to me how anyone would think that was a good strategy. To antagonize others, to engage their audience or the creator themselves, and to grift off of them. Essentially to get attention, negative attention, and then try to grow a little bit in little growth spurts each day by antagonizing other people. Some of these channels, the only content that you will find is Styx Hexenhammer is a shitfuck, Sargon of Akkad is dumb, 10 reasons why Stefan Molyneux is ugly, and stuff like that. That doesn't really require talent. The only talent required is that you're antagonistic enough to try to get people to respond. I won't even use their usernames. And some people probably know some of the people that I'm talking about. If I use their usernames, fundamentally, by engaging them even in a negative way, which is, we tend as people when antagonized, when someone says, hey, you're ugly, the tendency is to say, no, you're ugly, and to get into a fight over it. It takes more restraint to ignore people. They inevitably will win, though, because of their particular strategies. They inevitably win even if they lose the debate, simply because they've grown their presence and made money. So my advice to all legitimate creators is to ignore them entirely. Yeah, damn right, if you got a big audience, they'll make videos about you. That's pretty much inevitable. The only difference, and by the way, why would you even bother enjoying to debate somebody who's got, like, you know, sort of a third-grade view of politics anyway? It doesn't really make sense. I suppose you have to dumb yourself down, dude, to even entertain the material. Like, one of these people made a video about me many months ago, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. It was almost unwatchable. And it was also long as fuck. It's like, you know, dude, you're going to make a half-hour-long video solely about me complaining, and in the first minute of the video you tell people, and I'm assuming that this was the only honest part of the video, that you don't even know that much about me. You're making a half-hour video on a topic that you self-admittedly are ignorant on. That's pretty dumb, to tell the truth. That's about all. Peace out.